So many times in life, I have skipped steps on my way to a goal. I've tried to course correct, over optimize, and it has cost me everything. Because what I miss out on trying to skip those steps is the fact that I need to learn something else before I reach that goal. And in the end, if I try to skip those steps, it's just detrimental to me obtaining what I want to obtain because there's more input I need to reaching that goal. And I like optimization. I think that we as human beings try to over optimize at times because we think that it's going to propel us in a direction when sometimes the simple fact is that it's just repetition. It's just daily repetition over a long time period that ensures the certainty that we will obtain whatever we desire. And throughout time, I thought, well, maybe if I just do something different, maybe I got to change it up because this is going to make it so that I obtain my goal right away. And I do it. And then I just got to go back to the same thing because when I started this channel, I wanted to do it for the reason of showing other people, trying to convince other people there's a life out there that is better than the way you're living right now. And I only know that because I was living in the miserable traps that so many people fall into day in and day out. I had the addictions, I had the anxiety and the mental disorders, I had the eating disorders, I had the ability to change, but I never did because I just consumed and consumed and consumed. And I sat there with a sedentary lifestyle that was making my life a living hell. And then once I realized that, oh my God, there's this incredible way to live that is just so blissful and wonderful, I want to share it with others. I began to do that. But then somewhere along the way, multiple times, I was like, oh, well, now I want this to be something that is somewhat successful. And then I changed, I rerouted, and I was like, oh, well, this can do it. And then that leads to slightly clickbaity thumbnails. And it just led to me going nowhere. But at the end of the day, the worst part about it is not that the channel wasn't successful. It was that I lost sight of my mission. I lost sight of the fact that I just want other people to think for a second. Maybe I just want to plant the seed that perhaps there's a better way to live. And I got distracted. I did. I'm willing to say that. And it cost me the ability for a time period, the ability to show others, to tell others, to convince others and sell them on the idea that there can be a better life out there for you. And I don't think, at least in my personal life, there is anything that can be more rewarding or beneficial than showing others, telling others, convincing them that you can live a better life. And it comes through everything that I have lived and everything that I say should be done on a day-to-day basis. But I messed up. I messed up by trying to take the shortcuts, by trying to change things around, by trying to go routes that, yeah, probably would have gotten me to success or monetization, whatever the fuck you want to call it, faster. I fucked up. I did that. That's on me, and I have to live with that. But I did learn. And I learned that it is through the consistency, through the day in and day out actions, through the long-term vision and the hope and the goal and the mindset that one day this will happen as long as I put in the steps. And what I sacrificed was the purpose and meaning behind what I was doing. And that is unacceptable. But now I know that the weight of the purpose and meaning of something that I am willing to commit to long-term is so inherently valuable that in the end, it is bound to do what it is meant to do. So I just have the goal. I have the vision long term, sitting here day in and day out and telling you that if you put one foot in front of the other for something that is worth it, years to come, then you will obtain it. Because I believe that, because I got distracted and now I've ruled that out. It is my purpose to try and convince others that there is a life out there that is worth living, that is inherently beautiful and valuable. And I believe if you just commit, you will obtain it. And it's going to be difficult because throughout those years, you might try to skip steps. You might try to give up. You might sit there and for a while, just do nothing until it calls to you, it beckons to you again, and then maybe you'll answer. but it is that purpose. It is that meaning. That is the driving factor of whether or not you will put in the steps every day. I will be here every day doing that very thing. It is up to you to decide if you want to change your life because you can. You absolutely can. The person I once was is non existent now. I will never be that person again. It is only an upward trajectory from here. And you have that opportunity to, whatever level you are at. You might be endless levels above me right now, but you can still move upwards. I believe that fully in my heart. So if you find something that matters to you, then just know if you have a long term vision and you commit to day in and day out action towards obtaining that, you will obtain your goal. And I believe that. Just do not fucking give up and know it will take time. And you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to doubt your circumstances. You're going to have setbacks. Yes, you will. But if you commit, then you will obtain it. I promise you. I believe you will. Don't fucking give up.